Okay, so syempre mag-start tayo ng bagong lesson. Pero it's not entirely new. Mag-start pa rin tayo sa Schrodinger equation. Tulad nung tawag dito, ginagawa natin for the past past coverage ng dalawang exams. Ang pag-usapan natin sa mga susunod na araw ay two particle systems. Okay, so paano ba nag-interact yung dalawang particles na sa isa't isa? Okay, and how do we consider these or how do we treat yung particles in relation dun sa ano, sa sa kanilang wave functions, okay, sa Schrodinger equation. Ang ginawa kasi natin before, okay, ang kinonsider lang natin before ay yung spins. Di ba? Nakita natin na alam natin na pwede mag-interact yung spins nung mga particles. Okay? And even for a single particle, meron ka kasing orbital angular momentum and then may spin angular momentum ka. Tulad nung dun sa number 3, okay, na hindi ko muna i-divulge kung ano yung ano. Kasi may nag-exam pa. Tawag dito, ganun yung approach. Okay? Siyan. And then, okay, so dito mas generally yung approach natin. Dalawang particles. So consider natin yung full na Schrodinger equation. So pag meron kayong dalawang particles, so obviously yung particles na yun ay located at different locations. Diba? So we say na isang particle nasa position R1 at yung isang pangalawang particle nasa position R2. So how do we describe yung kanyang Schrodinger equation? So for two particles, okay, we say na so for two particles, sinasabi natin na ang kanilang wave function is described by psi R1, R2, T. So this is the time-dependent Schrodinger equation. In this case, yung R1 ay yung coordinate ng particle 1. At yung R2 ay coordinate ng particle 2. Okay. So, yung treatment natin dito sa wave function na to, okay, is in terms of Schrodinger equation. So, yung time-dependent na Schrodinger equation is IH bar, partial with respect to T, okay, ng psi equals sa yung Hamiltonian times psi. Okay, yung H ay Hamiltonian ng buong system. Okay. Meaning, kung consider natin yung kinetic energy ng particle 1, and yung kinetic energy ng particle 2, okay, and then yung potential, okay, between or yung potential, okay, na involved dun sa Hamiltonian na yan. Okay. So, of course, yung potential na yan may involve tawag dito, may involve yung interaction between yung dalawang particles, or it could be siyempre yung first order approximation is yung walang interaction between them, walang potential between them. Yung second order interaction ay nag-interact yung dalawang particles. Okay, and then yung higher order ay yung higher order na interaction ng dalawang particles. Okay? So, ganyan yung Hamiltonian natin. So, pag may Hamiltonian tayo, pag may wave function tayo, syempre gusto nating malaman kung ano yung probability density. So for that, ang probability density is okay, psi R1, R2, T star then psi R1, R2, T, and then D3, R1, and D3, R2. Okay, so tinitignan natin yung probability na makita yung particle in the region R1 or in the volume D3R1 and yung probability na makita yung particle in the volume D3R2. So, pag sinulat natin to, so this is psi R1, R2, T squared D3 R1, D3. So, ano ba? Probability in finding R1 in volume D3R1 and in finding R2 in the volume D3R. And if we want to find yung probability over whole space, syempre, integrate natin yan from 0 to infinity. Okay, so magiging integral yan ng sorry, probability density to. Probability density. So kung yung probability lang squared D3R1 D3R2. Okay, at yung probability na yan ay dapat equal sa so 1. So yan yung normalization condition. Okay. So, syempre gusto natin ng mga simplification para para pag nag-solve tayo ng problems. Tawag dito. Syempre ang simplification, we always start with the simple systems. Okay, at isa sa mga in this case, yung simplest na system ay mga time independent potential. So if the potential is time independent, okay, then we can write the wave function as psi R1, R2 T equals psi R1, R2 exponential negative I E T over H bar. Okay? Which means na ang ating Schrodinger equation is reduced to negative H bar squared 2m1 del 1 squared psi plus or minus H bar squared 2m2 del 2 squared psi then plus V psi equals sa E times psi. Kung saan yung E ay yung total energy of the system. O yung tinatawag natin mga eigenvalues. Okay, dito ini-ignore pa natin yung spin, ano? Pero mamaya i-incorporate natin yung spin dito. Questions so far? Yes. Interpretation ng D3R1 tsaka D3R2. So i-assume nyo na yung isang particle ay merong tawag dito, may sarili siyang bubble, sabihin natin. Then yung R2, may sarili siyang bubble. They don't have they don't occupy necessarily the same space. And magiging apparent yan in a little while. Actually, ngayon na. So, here's the thing. Meron kayong dalawang particles, and those particles can either be distinguishable or indistinguishable. And that's why we define yung D3R1, yung R1 to be in the volume D3R1, at saka yung R2 to be in the volume D3R2. Kasi kung indistinguishable sila, then may separate silang volume na ino-occupy. Okay? Pero kung distinguishable sila, it is possible na isang volume lang. Ay, baliktad, sorry. Distinguishable nga sila, so madi-distinguish mo sila. So may sarili silang volume na ino-occupy. Pero pag indistinguishable sila, then, anong tawag dito? Hindi mo malalaman kung itong electron na ito ay tawag dito is the same as the other electron. And pag pinagbaliktad mo sila na position, alam mo ba na pinagbaliktad mo sila kasi indistinguishable nga sila, right? Hindi naman natin binibigyan ng pangalan yung mga electrons. Right? And even if bigyan natin sila ng pangalan, hindi mo pa rin ma-identify kung sino sila. Right? So kaya sila indistinguishable. So dun tayo nagkakaroon ng tawag dito ng tawag dito dun natin na-distinguish yung dalawang systems na ito based on their sabihin natin symmetry. So iba yung symmetry pagdating sa indistinguishable particles at yung symmetry pagdating sa distinguishable particles. Okay, so sabihin natin na yung particle 1 is in state. So suppose particle 1 is in the state psi A R and particle 2 is in the state psi B R. Okay, so in this case, yung ating wave function, okay, is simply written as the product of these two wave functions, R1 tsaka R2. Okay. So nilabel natin yung wave function, isang wave function na psi A in position R1 and then yung pangalawang wave function as psi B in position R2. So ang implication nito is we can distinguish these two particles apart. Okay? Kasi sinabi natin, ito yung particle A, ito yung particle B, itong particle A nasa R1, particle B nasa R2. Okay? And then may associated na wave function for each of those particles. Pero tulad nga sinabi ko, not all particles ay distinguishable, especially for example electrons, yung photons, di ba? Subatomic particles, hindi mo sila madi-distinguish from the other. So there has to be another way to describe their wave functions. Okay, so there are actually two ways to do it. So this is for distinguishable particles. And pag indistinguishable, okay, yung wave function na magde-describe ay given by this. R1, R2 equals sa some amplitude na makukuha natin from normalization, psi A R1, psi B R2 plus or minus, and then tignan nyo psi A R2, then psi B R1. 1. So dahil hindi nga natin malaman kung yung A ay nasa R1 or nasa R2 at yung B ay nasa R1 or nasa R2, so we incorporate yung dalawang possibilities na yon dito sa wave function. Okay, kaya may dalawang terms. Yung first term is when A is in R1 and B is in R2, and yung second term is when A is in R2 and B is in R1. Okay, now ano yung plus or minus sign? Ano ibig sabihin ng plus or minus sign? Okay, so ibig sabihin meron dalawang types ng identical particles. Yung unang type ay tinatawag na bosons. At yung pangalawang type ay tinatawag na fermions. Okay? So sa bosons, siya yung wave function na may plus sign. And yung fermions, siya yung wave function na may minus sign. So anong examples ng bosons? So photons, mesons, okay? And then anong example ng fermions? So protons, electrons. Okay. So, yung mga pangalan na yan, ang galing yan sa pangalan ng mga scientists. Fermi, so fermions, and then si boson, si Bose. B-O-S-E. Indian physicist. Okay, so how do we know? So pag bosons, ang spins nila ay integer. Okay? Pero pag fermions, half integer yung mga spins. Okay? Okay. Now, pagdating sa bosons, it is possible na mag-occupy sila ng same state. Okay? Kasi ang mangyayari lang doon, mag-a-adapt lang yung dalawang wave function. Yung bosons, yung plus yung plus dito. Pero pagdating sa fermions, okay, hindi sila pwedeng mag-occupy ng same state. Okay? Kasi anong implication nun? Pag same state, ibig sabihin A is equal to B. Okay? If fermions occupy the same state, then yung particle A is just the same as particle B. Sorry, hindi ganyan. Yung wave function ng A that describes A, particle A, is the same as the wave function that describes particle B. So ang mangyayari ngayon dun sa minus na wave function, okay? So pwede nating palitan yung psi A or yung psi B ng psi A minus psi A R2 and psi A R1. Kung titignan nyo, yan ay equal to 0. Okay? So ang ibig sabihin nga niyan na hindi sila pwede mag-occupy ng same state kasi walang wave function na nag-exist. Okay, to describe that type of behavior. Saan nyo narinig before na hindi pwedeng mag-occupy ng same state ang dalawang particles? Yes. So itong statement na to is actually the statement for the Pauli exclusion principle. Okay. So hindi siya minake up na some sort of theory or concept. Meron siyang mathematical basis. Okay? Okay. Now, paano kung pagpalitin natin yung dalawang particles? Pagpalitin natin ng position at pagpalitin natin ng description sa dalawang particles. How do we account or how do we describe yung pagpalit ng dalawang particles? Let's say yung electron na ito at yung electron na ito meron siyang wave function psi A and psi B. Tapos gusto natin pagpalitin yung, yung isa gawin natin psi B, yung isa gawin natin psi A. Okay? Pwede ba yun? Dahil indistinguishable na sila, pwede nating gawin yun. So there has to be some mathematical tawag dito way para ang tawag dito kahit pagbalik-balik na rin natin yung wave function, it still describes yung dalawang particles na yun. Okay, and for that we have what's called the exchange operator. Okay, described by P. Okay. So pag yung operator na yan, okay, inoperate nyo sa isang wave function na f R1, R2, ang effect niya is f R2, R1. So in this case, basically, pinagpalit nyo lang siya ng positions. And obviously, pag in-apply nyo ulit yung operator na yan twice, babalik lang siya dun sa dating wave function. Diba? So P and then P, F, R1, R2 equals to F, R1, R2. Okay, so yung P squared dyan, P squared F, R1, R2 equals to F, R1, R2. So yung P squared ay magiging equal lang sa 1. Okay na? So, dahil identical particles sila, yung potential will also not know. Yung potential na V, R1, R2, hindi niya rin alam kung alin yung particle 1 at particle 2. Basta alam niya lang may dalawang particles na nag-interact sa isa't isa. So, sinasabi ko mathematically is that ganito yung kalalabasan. R2, VR1, R2 ay pareho lang sa VR1. VR1, R2 ay pareho lang sa VR2, R1. So, ibig sabihin din yan na yung exchange operator P okay, at yung Hamiltonian ay ang tawag dito, pwede niyong i-observe tawag dito, independent sa isa't isa. Mathematically, we say na P, yung commutation ng P at saka H ay 0. So they are compatible of observables. So walang implication sa P at sa H in terms of how we observe them. We can observe them independently and we still get the same results. Okay, and ang implication din nito is that both of these operators they have simultaneous eigenstates. So, which means now we can find a solution for the wave function A to be this. Okay, so yung plus or minus dyan basically corresponds to bosons pag plus and then fermions pag minus. Okay, so yung plus describes yung ano, both of them describe yung symmetry. So pag bosons, so meron siyang symmetric na ano, na wave function. And then pag fermions, meron siyang anti-symmetric na wave functions. Okay, mathematically, naintindihan niyo naman kung ano, no? Kung ano yung symmetric na wave function tsaka ano, no? Anti-symmetric na wave function. For example, sa trigonometry, ang cosine theta ay symmetric na symmetric na function. Kasi kasi ang cosine theta is just the same as cosine negative theta. Okay, pero ang tawag dito, yung sine theta naman ay anti-symmetric na wave function. Kasi ang sine theta is the negative of sine. Sine negative theta is the negative of sine theta. Right? Tagal na kasi nag-trigonometry kayo, no? Tama? Yes, exactly. Yun yung odd and even functions. Okay, so sige, mag-consider tayo ng example. Suppose we have two non-interacting particles. Okay. Both of mass m in an infinite square well. M in an infinite square. So, pag one particle lang, paano natin describe yung wave function pag one particle? Nalala niyo ba? Psi sub nx equals sa? Siyempre, wala namang nakakaalala. Square root of 2a sine n pi x a. Okay. And yung wave function and yung eigenvalues En equals n squared with k. Okay, na kung saan yung k is pi squared h bar squared over 2 n a squared. So single particle yan. Ngayon, punta na tayo sa two particles. So for two particles, okay, consider muna natin yung case na distinguishable sila. Okay. So ano ang kanilang wave function ng dalawang particles? Sige nga, tingnan natin kung may natutunan kayo. Anong wave function ng dalawang particles na distinguishable? Sino ang kulang? Si Elfritz lang. Ano? Si? Si Kento. Ano? Sai? Tsaka? Yes. Saan ko na sinulat yun? Yan. Diba? Ito yung wave function for distinguishable particles. Okay? Right. So in this case, this becomes, so psi, ang gamitin natin index yung yung n values nila. N1, N2, okay? X1, X2, dahil one dimension lang. So this will be psi N1, X1, psi N2, X2. Okay. Ano ang tawag dito? Eigenvalue. So may energy ka for particle 1, may energy ka for particle 2. Ang energy ng particle 1 is N1 squared K. Ang energy ng particle 2 is N2 squared K. Diba? Base sa equation na ito, sa taas. So anong gagawin natin sa dalawang energies na yun? I-add lang natin, di ba? Kasi scalar lang naman ang energy eh. So kung may energy isang particle, energy yung pangalawang particle, yung total na energy ay yung sum lang ng dalawang energies na yun. So N1 squared plus N2 squared. Okay. Okay, sige. Tawag dito. Magpo-pause ako sandali. Ay, shit, hindi siya naka-record. Hindi, nagre-record siya dun sa taas. Ipo-pause ko lang sandali ito. Recording. So pag ground state, yung N1, yung principal quantum number is equal to 4, the infinite square well. So N1 ay equals to 1, tsaka N2 ay equals to 1. Okay, so in this case, okay, so ito ay equal sa 2 over A, di ba? Gagamitin na natin ito equation na ito. So sine N1 is 1, so pi x over A times sine pi x1 over A, and then sine pi x2 over A. At yung corresponding na eigenvalue ay E11 equals sa 1 plus 1, gamit na gamit niyo yung elementary knowledge nyo. 2K. Okay, so isang wave function lang yung nagde-describe para dun sa two distinguishable na particles in the ground state. Ano siya? Tanong ka?
Ano lang po, yung sa sign, dalawang same functions po.
Ano? Hindi. So bali ito, bali one kasi yan. Okay na? Now, first excited state. Ano ang first excited state? So merong dalawang possible na states, di ba? Una, N1 is equal to 1, tsaka N2 is equal to 2. So in this case, psi 1, 2, x1, x2 ay equal sa 2 over A sine pi x1 over A and then sine 2 pi x2 over. Yung corresponding na eigenvalue nito, 5. So 1 squared plus 2 squared, 5. So 5K. And then pag yung N1 naman ay yung nasa first excited state at yung N2 ay nasa ground state, So magiging psi 21 x1 x2 equals to 2 over a sine 2 pi x x1 over a sine pi x2 over a. And yung corresponding na eigenvalue ay 5k pa din. Kasi 2 squared plus 1 squared. So pag may ganyan states na pareho yung eigenvalue, anong tawag natin sa states na yun? Ang tawag? Ha? Huwag kayo mahiya sumagot. Ano ba naman? Anong tawag? Degenerate. Okay. So these are degenerate states. Pag ano, distinguishable. Okay, so yan yung distinguishable particles ha. Ano mangyayari pag indistinguishable na sila? So again, dalawang types ng indistinguishable particles. Bosons at saka fermions. So anong gagawin nyo pag indistinguishable sila? Start with bosons. So if these two particles are indistinguishable, okay, then yung ground state ay same pa din for bosons. For bosons, the ground state is the same, still described by this. What's the name? Okay. Ito. And so, and then yung first excited state can be written as okay. Dun sa book merong square root yung 2, pero hindi ako sure kung may square root talaga yan kasi ganito yung gagawin natin. Sine pi x1 over a sine pi 2 pi x2. Minus sine 2 pi x1 over a sine pi x2 over a. Okay, and yung eigenvalue corresponding to this ay 5k pa din. Ay, sorry, plus. Pag bosons. Plus. Now, if these are fermions, okay, ano mangyayari sa ground state? Ano mangyayari sa ground state? Ito pa ba yung ground state pag fermions? Ha? Ano?
Magsisira daw.
Alin yung mag-zero? Ito? Hindi, kasi ito yung ground state pag distinguishable siya eh. Di ba? And pag bosons. Pero pag fermions na, ito pa rin ba yung ground state? Hindi na, bakit? Dahil, exactly. Dahil sa Pauli exclusion principle, hindi pwedeng exactly the same yung wave functions nilang dalawa. Right? So, ito ay exactly the same, di ba? So, wala kayong ground state na may energy eigenstate na 2K. Ang ground state nyo kagad ay yung 5K na. So, ito na yung ground state. So, ito, first excited state pa rin to para sa bosons. And then ito na yung okay, x1 and then sine pi x2 over a. Okay, so ang energy nito ay 5K. So ito na yung ground state for the Fermi. Sorry, may naririnig akong tunog. Okay. Questions? Masyado ba mabagal? Gusto yung bilisan ko? Nabubore ba kayo? Gaya nga. Hindi na ako nabubore. Okay. Kaya na? Clark? Clear? Claro. Claro. Ha? Sabi ko kasi Clark. Clear. Or short for Claro. Pero actually, sa Swedish at sa Danish, ang Clar is clear. So baka nag-switch ako ng language. Ha? Polyglot degenerate. Okay, so tignan natin kung paano nagbe-behave tong mga wave functions na ito. Okay? At yung symmetry nila, okay, by solving for yung expectation values nung dalawang wave functions. Okay? So, let's begin with yung wave function for distinguishable na particles. Diba sabi natin kanina, okay, pag distinguishable, ganito natin siya isusulat. Okay, and so, and then pag bosons, so psi plus x1, x2 ay equals to 1 over square root of 2. Kaya siya square root of 2. Kasi may 1 over square root of 2 ka na, yun yung A, yun yung normalization. Okay. So, lagyan natin ito ng square root of 2. So, yan, 1 over square root of 2. So, psi A, x1, psi B, x2. Plus psi B, x1, psi A, x2. And then, pag fermions, psi minus x1, x2 equals to 1 over square root of 2. Psi A, x1, psi B, x2 minus psi B, x1, psi A, x. Okay, ang isa-solve natin dito specifically, okay, ay yung expectation value, okay, ng separation distance between the two particles. Ano ang physical interpretation ng expectation value ng separation distance? Ano bang expectation value? Ba, expectation value ng x. So anong physical na interpretation ko? So pag sinabi natin expectation value ng x ay tawag dito one half tawag dito x naught, for example, anong ibig sabihin nun? Most likely yung particle ay nakikita sa position na one half x naught. Diba? Kasi in-expect natin na nandun siya. Yung ibig sabihin ng expectation value. So when we are solving for the expectation value of the difference or expectation value of the separation distance, ano yung ano yung physical interpretation nito?
Where it is going, where the other, yung remaining possibilities po ng first, as when we eliminate yung possibility ng second.
Yes, in some sense, yes. Pwede. Ala, nagre-record ba? Di ba pinindot ko yung record kanina? Record. Pero hindi yata naka-share. Shit. Makikita niyo na naman yung pagmumukha ko. Okay. So, in some sense, tama yung sinasabi mo. So, paano nangyari yun? So, x1 minus x2 squared is x1 squared plus x2 squared minus 2x1 x2. Diba? So, this is just expectation value ng x1 squared plus expectation value ng x2 squared minus 2 times yung expectation value ng x1 at saka ng x2. So, ito yung sinasabi mo, di ba? Na kinukuha mo yung difference between yung dalawang individual na expectation values. Right? Okay, so that's one possible interpretation. The other is, how likely can you find the one particle in relation dun sa kung gaano siya kalayo dun sa or gaano siya kalayo dun sa kabilang particle. Okay, so tingnan natin, baka mas maging klaro pagdating sa pag nagko-compute na tayo o pag nakuha na natin yung values. So, pag distinguishable particles. Isa-isa natin i-compute yung yung term by yung bawat term. So, unahin muna natin yung expectation value ng x1. Ano expectation value ng x1 squared? So, by definition, anong definition ng expectation value? Kung ito yung ating di ba? Wave function psi x1 x2, right? So, psi star x1 x2 x1 squared and then psi x1 x2 tapos dx1 dx2. Okay. Ngayon yung psi x1 x2 is just psi a x1 tsaka psi b x2. So papalitan natin itong ngayon ng psi a star x1 psi b star x2 x1 squared psi A x1 psi B x2 dx1 dx2. Okay, now itong term na ito, at yung term na yan involves x1. So pwede natin siyang isama with this x1 squared. And syempre, isasama natin siya with dx1. So isang integral sila lahat. Okay, so we're just integrating over x1. And yung kasama doon ay psi A star x1, x1 squared, and psi A x1, and then d x1. Then yung pangalawang integral is psi B star x2, psi B x2, and then dx2. So pag sinimplify natin, that's integral ng x1 squared psi A x1, okay, modulus, and then psi B x2 squared dx2. Okay. Anong masasabi niyo sa integrals? May isang integral ba dyan na pwede na natin simplify? Dalawa yung integrals, di ba? So may isang integral ba dyan na pwede na i-simplify? Yung dx2 kasi, yes. Probability lang siya over dx2. Right? So equal yan sa 1. So, equal yan sa 1. So, ang nangyari is, nag-end up tayo sa integral ng x1 squared psi A x1 squared dx1, which is nothing but yung expectation value ng x squared for particle A. Okay, so psi x2, expectation value ng x2 squared. So again, same lang yung kalalabasan, di ba? So we'll end up with psi A star x1, psi B star x2, pero imbis na x1 magiging x2 squared, and then psi A x1, psi B x2, and then dx1, dx2. This time, yung psi A star x1, psi A x1, at saka dx1, sila yung magkakasama. And yung the rest, sila rin yung kasama sa isang integral. So we have psi A x1 squared dx1 integral ng x2 squared psi B x2 squared dx. In this case, yung first integral yung equal sa 1, and yung second integral is nothing but yung expectation value, okay, ng x for particle. So finally, expectation value ng x1, x2 okay, expectation value ng x1, x2. So, anong mangyayari dyan? We end up with the same equation, psi A star, x1, psi B star, x2, and then x1, x2, then psi A, x1, psi B, x2, dx1, dx2. This time, yung psi A star x1, yung isang x1 yung psi A x1, tsaka dx1. Sila yung magkakasama sa isang integral. So we have x1 psi A x1 squared dx1. And then the rest, kasama sa isang integral. So we have x2 ito, psi B x2 squared dx. At ito ay equal lang sa expectation value ng x for particle A and expectation value ng x for particle B. Okay? Okay, so yung expectation value ngayon ng difference nung kanilang distances, separation distance, di ba, is, di ba, x1 squared to, but x1 squared is x squared sub a. And then x2 squared, expectation value ng x squared, pero expectation value ng x2 the para sa particle B. Then minus 2, expectation value ng x particle A, and expectation value ng x for particle B. Ah, ano yung kulang? Wala na? Okay. Okay. Now, and mapapansin nyo rin na even if we use psi A at ilagay natin siya sa x2 at yung psi B ilagay natin sa x1, you'll still end up with the same final answer. Okay? So hindi nagmamatter kung ano yun. Kung ano yun. Well, that's because distinguishable nga sila. Now, for identical particles, again, may two types ng identical particles, okay, plus or minus 1. So yung starting equation natin will still be the same. Ito pa rin yung starting equation. Okay, pero ang gagamitin na natin na wave function ay itong dalawa. Yan at saka yan. At yung only difference lang dito ay yung plus tsaka yung minus. So, sabay na natin silang iti-treat kasi gagawin lang naman natin is plus or minus lang. Diba? So, okay. So, sa case 2, yung sa identical particles, unahin muna natin yung x1. Okay. So, okay, bago natin isulat yung 1/2 na yan, para na may makita niyo. So, psi ng plus or minus x1, x2, star, x1 squared, and then psi plus or minus x1, x2, okay, dx1, tsaka dx2. Okay, so yan yung definition. Okay, ano ang psi plus or minus? So 1 over square root of 2, pero syempre, isi-square natin yan. Okay, so ganito. So 1 over square root of 2. So may 1/2 ka na dyan. Integral lang. Ito ay psi A star x1 psi B star x2 and then plus or minus psi A x2 psi B x1. Yan yung dun sa first na wave function. Sorry, star, star. Then times x1 squared and then psi A x1 psi B x2 plus or minus psi A x2 psi B x1 dx1 dx2. Naintindihan niyo kung paano nangyari yan? So then, actually, ni-replace lang natin yung psi plus or minus with yung definition. Okay. Anong next step? Siyempre, ano natin, multiply, di ba? So, medyo mahaba-haba ito. Nagko-complain na naman si Gianna. Okay. Iwan ko na ba sa inyo yung steps or gusto nyo isa-isahin natin? Tamad niyo talaga? Kayo. Kayo. Ako pa nagsabi na tamad kayo eh. Skip na lang natin. I-distribute lang naman eh, di ba? Ito, yan, tapos yan. Diba? So, psi A star x1, okay, squared psi B x2 squared and then x1 squared. Okay, yan yung first term. Ito, tsaka yan. Okay, next. Ito muna, second term. Yan muna, yung dalawa. Kasi magka-cancel lang yung dalawang negative. Right? Okay? So para hindi kayo malito, gagawin ko ring violet yan. Purple. Psi A x2 star psi B x1 star and then x1 squared. Okay na? Okay. Okay, so ito naman. Ito at saka yan. Cross terms. So plus or minus. Okay. Psi A star x1 psi A x2 psi B star x2 psi B x1 and then x1 squared. Dapat pala pula yung ginamit ko. No? And then, pang ibang color dito. Blue. Okay, so ito naman, at saka, yan. So again, it's plus or minus psi A x1 psi A star x2. Okay, and then psi B x2 tapos psi B star x1 and then x1 squared. At lahat yan ay dx1 dx2. Okay? Okay, dun muna tayo sa first term. First term. Tingnan ko yung oras at yung battery. 17% na lang. So, aabot siguro tayo. Anong mangyayari sa first term? Anong ginawa natin before? Pinagsama natin lahat ng mga x1. Right? Isang integral yon. And then pinagsama natin yung mga x2. Just isang integral din siya. Okay. So yung first integral sa first term is psi A, bakit may star? Actually, wala na dapat star yan kasi na-square na natin. Psi A x1 and then squared tapos x1 squared dx1. Yan yung isang integral. And then yung pangalawang integral ay psi b x2 squared dx2. And then yung pangalawang integral ay x psi a x1 squared dx1 tapos integral ng psi b x1 squared x1 x2 ito. X2. x1 squared and then dx1. Third term, plus or minus integral ng lahat ng x1 pagsasama-samahin, right? So psi a star x1 and then x1 squared and then psi b x1 dx1. Then integral ng psi a x2 psi b star x2 dx2. Tapos, plus or minus, integral ng psi a x1 x1 squared psi b star x1 dx1 then integral ng psi a star x2 psi b x2 and then dx2. Ano ang first term? So ano itong term na to? Expectation value ng at position for particle A. Right? Tapos ito, equal sa 1. Tama? Yung second na integral sa first term ay equal sa 1. Now, yung first integral sa second term ay equal sa 1. And itong term na ito ay x squared sandali ah. Okay. Now, ano mangyayari sa integral nito? Yung integral na yan. Ano mangyayari dyan? Yung pangalawang integral sa third term. Yung may arrow na kulay pula. Dahil exactly orthogonal states. Sumuchamba ka lang ba? O? You're so humble. And sa fourth term, alin integral dyan yung 0? First or second? Kasi yung first involves x1 eh. Yung second integral, di ba? Yan yung 0. Okay? So yung expectation value ng x1 squared ay equal lang sa 1/2 x squared ng particle A, expectation value ng x squared ng sa particle A plus yung expectation value ng x squared sa particle. Ayos? Na-complain na naman si Gianna. X1 pa lang yan, may dalawang terms pa. May X2, may X2 pa. X. Ha? Galing. X2 squared ay equal sa 1/2 x squared, expectation value ng x squared A plus x squared B. Kasi nga, identical sila. Kaso, yung x1, x2. Ha? Hindi pa. Okay, sige, hanggang dito na lang muna. Derive natin yung next. Derive natin yung next sem. Ay, next meeting pala. Next meeting. Happy April Fool's Day! Belated! Bigla kayo nagising, ano?